Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. The story behind this video is that I am fighting a head cold and not feeling so great today, so I knew if I wanted to still make a video that I needed to make a semi-short, semi-easy to put together video. But inspiration can come from the most unlikely of places, and while I was thinking of a video that was short, I thought of short books. So I decided to pick out 6 short books from my library to basically recommend or talk about. All of these are at least under 170 pages, and they're all ones that I really enjoy, and I tried to pick a mixture of ones that I've never talked about on this channel or rarely talked about, or some that I've talked about a lot. So it's just a nice mixed bag of tricks. I decided to go longest book to shortest book. So the longest book on my pile, ending at 168 pages, is The Wolves of Willoughby Chase by Joan Aiken. This is a story about 2 cousins, Bonnie and Sylvia. Bonnie lives on a wealthy estate, and her parents go off on a sea voyage and leave Bonnie and Sylvia with a governess who turns out not to be the nicest governess in the world, since she fires all the servants in the house and sends Bonnie and Sylvia to this prison-like orphan sort of house. Highly enjoy this book. Excellent, really fast read. It's got a great deal of friendship and adventure, and also it's creepy, but not too creepy because it is a middle grade book, so it's just got a cool tone to it. I think this book is part of a series, but I have never read the subsequent books after this first one, so I'm thinking I might want to try to do that sometime. Ending at 139 pages, we have Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This is a story of a little girl named Winnie who discovers the Tuck family, which is a family that can live forever, and just her adventures with them and learning about life through people that cannot die, basically. And it's very interesting. I love this book and rereading this book because I feel like I learn something new about the story all the time. I think it's because of the subject matter. You really do see something new as you grow with the book, and I just think it's a great book for children and adults and everything in between. I used to reread it every year. I haven't read it in the past couple of years, and I kind of missed it, so I'll probably try to reread it this year. Ending at 137 pages, I have Number the Stars by Lois Lowry. This book is set in Copenhagen in 1943, and it centers around 2 little girls named Anne-Marie and Ellen. Ellen is Jewish, and so that's when the Nazis start occupying Copenhagen. She goes and moves in with Anne-Marie and pretends to be part of Anne-Marie's family so that they can help Ellen and her family get out of Copenhagen and escape the occupation. It's amazing how much story and emotion the author got into this story, and how much you really feel for the characters and the different sort of things that happen because of Ellen being in hiding, and I just really love this book. Now for a book that's for adults, and it is Stephen King's The Cycle of a Werewolf, which ends at about 128 pages. This is about a boy named Marty who is in a wheelchair and his sister Kate, and they basically end up in a battle against a werewolf who is attacking their town. Even though the characters in this are of a younger age, I would say that this is probably more suited for an older teen or an adult. What I kind of like about this book is its way that it tells the story. It does have some illustrations, albeit though that it's a little creepy at times, the illustrations, and it also goes by the calendar year, so each chapter of the book takes place in a new month during the year, and it's a really cool way of telling the story. I also just find it really interesting, some of the symbolism and the relationship that the two siblings have in this story. I love this book so much, despite its werewolfy creepiness. I thought I would pick at least one poetry book, so at 101 or so pages, I have The Panther and the Lash by Langston Hughes. I really love Langston Hughes' poetry. I love how he really shows his life experience through his writing, and I also really like that his poetry isn't like hard to understand. It's really easy to get. I enjoy more complex poetry too, but I think there's a place for less complex poetry and still getting your point across with it as well. If you're looking to get into poetry books but you don't know where to start, I think this one is a good one to start with, so that's why I thought I would include it in this video. And the last book that I have in my pile is The Big Lie, a true story by Isabella Lettner, and this ends at 79 pages. This is the true story of the author and how she survived the Nazi occupation in 1944 in Hungary, and she was Jewish in her basic experience. The cool thing about this book is that it is for kids, and they managed to tell the story and the history of what went on during her experience without being too graphic, but it still really exposes what was going on and how things occurred, which I think is excellent. But as an adult, it's kind of an interesting read, because if you maybe didn't know that much about life experiences for people going through that, then you could learn some new things in a really quick, easy way. So if you want a little history lesson and something nonfiction to pick up that's really short, this is a really good option. Those were 6 very short books in my library. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found some new books that you might enjoy through this. I'm still gonna really try hard to get my second video up this week later on, so I will see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Bye!